Broadcasting from coast to coast. It's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete D'Arruda. You'll hear from some of the nation's top financial professionals. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world, right here on the Financial Safari.
Welcome to Financial Safari TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Coach Pete D'Arruda, otherwise known as the People's Choice. Coach Pete, how are you today?
I'm doing great as always.
Good. I'm doing great as well. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's new? I know you've been extremely busy. Obviously, the consultations that you've been booking have been astronomical in number. Let's talk a little bit about how life has been for you.
Getting a lot of calls from the TV show. I do a national radio show as well, so we get a lot of radio and TV callers coming in office all the time, and the questions are always the same, it seems like.
Yeah.
Coach, here's what we have. Are we doing the right thing? Or our advisor said that you're stupid. You hear that every now and then. Advisors don't like us because we're basically educating as fiduciaries. We're pulling the carpet back or pulling the curtain back so people can see what's behind there.
Sure.
I said carpet because I remember when we had dogs, the smell would never go away when I was growing up, and my dad pulled the carpet back one time and they had something underneath the carpet called the padding, and there were stains there from when the doggies did their little business, right?
Yeah,
so Dad was not happy that day. So pulling the carpet back is where you really see some things. So in the financial world, we need to make sure there's not anything bad going on.
Sure.
And the best time to figure out is now.
Yeah.
And so, I don't care if I make another advisor mad because we're helping their clients doing what they should have been doing to begin with.
Absolutely.
And so we're cleaning a lot of, I call myself a financial janitor a lot of times. We're cleaning a lot of messes up created by other financial people. Or people who try to do it themselves a lot of times can get themselves in trouble too. Just because you have a computer and you can have a search engine like Google doesn't mean you can do your own financial plan. Just like you can't diagnose your own health symptoms on WebMD or something like that. Matter of fact, if you go there with a simple headache, by the time you're done, you have fourth-degree brain cancer. That's what you think. So you have to be very careful what we hear, what we believe, and what we put our faith in, and more importantly, where we put our money. Our money needs to be working for us, and it doesn't need to be working for somebody else.
Sure. I mean, absolutely. As people are approaching retirement, obviously they're going to be responsible for creating their own income to be there actually for the remainder of their retirement years, which sometimes now, Coach Pete, people are obviously retired longer, from what I've heard, than sometimes what they've spent in the years at work. It's the best of times and the worst of times for some people. Because we used to retire at 65 and die at 66. That's why Social Security was fine back then, because they didn't plan for people to live 30, 40, even 50 years longer after retirement. Right. But folks, let's make sure our money lasts longer than we do. And so the way we design our plans, we plan to age 121. And we call it to retirement and beyond, because we can go even further than that. Whatever we design, when we design a true retirement income plan, it's going to continue to pay you and your spouse a check for the rest of your lives. Which is so important.
And if you go to a nursing home facility, it'll, in some of the cases when we set it up, it'll double that check for up to 5 years. Well, that's not nursing home protection or coverage, but a double check will help. And then the most important thing is, even if your balance goes to zero in these accounts, you still get your income check. You can never, it's a double negative, right? You can never not get it. You'll always get a check. And that's important when you get to retirement and you start looking at your balance going down, because you're taking money out and you're getting a check every single month in retirement. If it goes to zero, you still get the check. And that's amazing for not only you and your spouse, so it's both of you. And then people say, well, what if we die too soon, Coach? What happens to that lump sum there? Well, you assign who gets that money when you sign up into this plan. You assign beneficiaries, they're called. So if you and your spouse are not here and there's still money left, it goes on to whoever you assign. Churches, charities, next of kin, whoever you want to get it. Well, Coach, what if we change our mind down the road to who we want to get it? You can make changes anytime you want. As long as you're breathing, you can change the beneficiaries. So that's very important too.
Absolutely.
And we help people with that. I mean, we make sure that everything's done the right way. It's not like, here's your plan, now see you later. That's what some people say. They get that feeling when they go to other advisors is, as soon as they give the money to the person's on to the next client. Well, how does that make you feel if someone just was chasing you around for your money, and once they got it, they don't care anymore? That's not good. That's why you need to deal with a true fiduciary team who puts your needs ahead of theirs, and also will make sure to be there every single step of the way. Even if there's really nothing to be done, it's good to meet with them every year to have that assurance, knowing that we're still on your side, still helping you.
Sure.
Yep.
And a person to talk to if there's ever a life change. Let's say you go through a divorce,
Yep.
or an adult child moves back home, or people had so many things happen due to COVID, if you will.
Life changes, doesn't it?
It does, all the time.
Anyone who says it doesn't is crazy, because it's constantly changing, and we don't know what's around the corner.
Absolutely.
Last year, when you and I were talking in February, we had no idea
No,
that COVID was right around the corner.
we didn't.
We're talking today, who knows what's right around the corner tomorrow?
I know.
And so having a plan that can adjust with the life's changes is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
And having that lifetime income, you can't put a price on it, because you don't have to
Absolutely.
worry anymore. Companies used to work for a company. My parents, my grandparents used to work for a company. They would work 30 or 40 years, retire, and the company would continue to pay them. That was
Sure.
called a pension.
Absolutely.
Companies didn't like doing that.
Right.
Companies were paying a lot of money out. So they invented something, or they endorsed the 401k. Now, the 401k is a great way for you to save for retirement. The problem is, the burden is now on you to save for your retirement. If you don't put money in your 401k and your company doesn't have a pension, which most don't,
Yeah.
and you get to retirement and you haven't put any money aside, you're going to be depending on Social Security. And that was not designed to carry you and have all the activities you want to do in retirement. It was designed to give you food and shelter, basically.
Absolutely.
And so I love Social Security, and I hope that everyone out there takes full advantage of it and does a claiming strategy review before you go file it, because once you file your Social Security, you're locked in that choice.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
if there was a better way, when do you want to know about it, before than after? So we can do a Social
Absolutely.
Security review. We don't work for the government. We have nothing to do with the government, but we have the software that'll show you the best claiming strategy to take for you and your spouse.
Okay.
And so, well, Coach, that doesn't mean anything. Who cares? Social Security is a small check. Yeah, but if you can get $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 more
Absolutely.
a year,
It
maybe
adds up.
maybe $10,000 more a year,
Yeah.
it adds up.
Everything.
Over time.
Everything matters.
So when
Absolutely.
should we take it, Coach? Should we take Social Security at 62? I want it now. Social Security is going away. That's what people say. It's
I
not
know.
going away.
I hear that a
Government
lot.
will never got to go away. The longer you wait, if you hold it from 62, don't take it and go to 70, you're going to 8% increase in your income each year by leaving it alone.
Wow.
Once you're over 70, no more gains. So then it makes no sense, in my opinion, to wait after age 70 to take
Okay.
it. But anywhere between 62 and 70 is where people are doing it. And 65, we've heard that number. Remember, that was the magic age of retirement. Now it's getting a little bit more, 66, 67.
Yeah.
But again, if you can afford to leave that money alone, leave it alone, because when you do take it out, you're going to get more money.
Okay.
But there's another strategy here. If you've been divorced and you were married for more than 10 years, you can file for your spouse's benefit, your ex-spouse's benefit, without them knowing it. And you can get a bigger check a lot of times. So there's a lot of different strategies sent there, and there still are. The Social Security, or the government has taken away some of the Social Security claiming options, but there's still some good ones out there. If you can get more money in your pocket by making the best choice, a choice you might not have made if you
Sure.
didn't have a review, then it makes sense.
Okay.
And so our review is at no cost or obligation. We'll do a Social Security review. We'll do a total retirement plan review. We'll make sure that your money is generating money for the rest of your life for you. Give that lifetime income account and put together a total retirement plan for the next 20 people who call right now. As well as I've written 8 books. You can have 3 of the books that I've written, and I've been giving this one away on most
Yes.
recent shows, the video on retirement.
Yeah.
Tells you
Very
about
good.
what retirement is and how to plan properly for retirement in a non-threatening way. It's a DVD, folks. I don't know if you remember what that is, but you put it into a player. We've got a couple DVD players we can let people borrow if they don't have one.
Perfect.
But I think everyone has one somewhere.
Yeah, at least it's not a VCR tape, right?
No, you remember that?
It could be worse.
Oh, speaking of which, now, remember Blockbuster Video?
Of course.
Did you ever go into Blockbuster
Of
back in the day?
course.
There were 9,000 Blockbusters back in the day.
Isn't that
9,000. Now there's one.
That's
And I'm in the
incredible.
movie The Last Blockbuster. It came out in December of 2020.
Okay.
It's a motion picture. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on YouTube. It's all over. If you look at The Last Blockbuster, if you search it, you'll find it.
Okay.
And I'm in the last scene. So if you watch it
Nice.
and you can do a little selfie, taking a picture of me in the last scene with it, I've got a very special gift for you. I've got a couple T-shirts I want to give you if you send that in or whatever, the selfie of that. So it's pretty cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And we're going to try to get some of those DVDs to hand out, but they're being
Okay.
kind of stingy at the producers being kind of stingy and the director. So,
Okay.
but we'll see. But you can watch it at Amazon Prime anytime you want.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
There's another movie I want to tell people about that I won 2 Emmys with called The Visioneer.
Oh.
The Visioneer is on Amazon Prime and it's free. It's about Peter Diamandis, which no one knows who he is.
Okay.
He was one of the 3 original founders of SpaceX. People hear about Elon Musk and Richard Branson, but
Yeah.
Elon Musk is is very, very smart. But Elon Musk has told me that if it wasn't for Peter Diamandis, SpaceX never would have happened. So
really,
it's called The Visioneer. Very good movie. Okay. But all right, let's get back. I tangent away. That's how I do it. Total retirement plan, a golden ticket, 3-book set. DVDs, workbooks, guidebooks. We'll give you a box set on the 401k. We've got a box set on the 401k. If you have a 401k, you need this box set. I don't care if you're putting money in or not putting money in. It educates you on what to do with your money, how to allocate it correctly, and more importantly, how to get lifetime income from that 401k. Because if you're not generating lifetime income, which most people aren't with their 401ks, they have a lump sum. But if you're not generating lifetime income or don't know what that lifetime income is going to be, then you don't have that personal pension plan that you need, the pension that your relatives used to have when they worked for companies. So we can turn your 401k into that pension plan, those yearly and monthly checks you can never outlive.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Very important. Coach Pete, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. To the viewers at home, the number is on your screen to call. Please take the opportunity to call in. Coach Pete has just an extraordinary offer for you today. We know you have a lot of questions about how to plan for your perfect stress-free retirement. Coach Pete has the answers for you. After this very short commercial break, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit further about how to plan your retirement. Please stay tuned.
Education is paramount when it comes down to financial planning, especially if you're in the financial red zone. Folks, I'm consumer advocate Thomas Lipscomb here with Coach Pete D'Arruda, best-selling author and the founder of this TV show that you're watching right now, The Financial Safari, as well as a nationally syndicated broadcast radio show that's heard by millions every year. Coach, this is a great box set that we've put together. I appreciate you doing it.
Well, Thomas, the reason why we put together our shows is to educate folks just like you out there, and I've taken some time now, and you've helped me with these, put together these tremendous box sets with workbooks, guidebooks, DVDs, and worksheets in there, all designed to help you get onto the path that you really need to be on in an educational setting, Thomas, in your own house. So all you have to do is call the number you're going to see on the screen, and you can get your very own workbook, guidebook, and set, DVD set, as well as your no-cost consultation.
And welcome back to Financial Safari TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Coach Pete D'Arruda, otherwise known as the People's Choice. Coach Pete, let me ask you a question. What is the wealthreportcard.com?
Oh, very, very important, Cynthia. I mean, who likes report cards? I hated report cards growing up, but I did. I kind of liked them, though, because I got good grades, and my brother Bob did, but Jeff, not so good. So the problem is, if you have one rotten egg in a carton, it spoils them all, they used to say. Remember, one bad apple or whatever?
Bad apple,
and
absolutely.
So I've never seen that, but how does one bad apple spoil everything? But so me and Bob would get good report cards. Jeff would have to show Dad his.
Okay.
And so we all got punished for Jeff's bad report cards sometimes. So Jeff improved, and Jeff's an engineer, civil engineer now, so Jeff did good. So Jeff started concentrating more, but it was never good for one of us to have a bad grade, because even if we had good grades, we got punished for the other person not having it.
Sure.
So in the financial world, we think we're doing fine a lot of times, but are we really doing it? So we can look behind the scenes and give you a real grade on the investments that you have, how they're performing, how they're performing against their peers, how your income plan looks. Wealth is not just about lump sum. Lump sums are good, but wealth is about income to me.
Yeah.
If you have plenty of income, you feel wealthy.
Of course.
And if you don't have any worries, you feel enthusiastic.
Sure.
I was watching that the TV guy, the preacher guy, Joel Osteen, the other day, and he was talking about if you're happy, other people will be happy too. So if your money makes you happy, now money doesn't buy happiness, but if you have that good wealthy feeling and you're getting good income, you smile and better things seem to happen to you.
Sure.
If you're down to the last penny and you don't know how you're going to pay the credit card bills and you're moping around, probably bad things are going to happen to you. So let's get a plan put together that never puts you in a position where, I'm going to use an analogy we talked about before the show. You ever ride down the road and you see somebody hitchhiking on the side of the road? Usually they have a gas can in their hand. They're trying to get to the gas station because they ran out of gas.
Right.
Well, we don't want any financial hitchhikers in retirement. In other words, we want to make sure that you are totally self-sufficient all the way through retirement, never running out of gas or income. You know, that's lifetime income is our fuel for a successful retirement. If we have a system set up where you know every single month you're going to walk to the mailbox, there'll be a new check there. We call it the green flag on the mailbox. When you pay a bill, what flag do you put up?
The green flag?
No, your red flag.
Oh,
you don't have a green flag. So
shoot.
Wouldn't it be great if you can walk out? I hate doing that too. You go out, we don't do it. I don't do that anymore, folks. Do not go to the mailbox and put the red flag up, because thieves ride around the neighborhood now and steal that, and they can go cash that check or whatever. So do electronic banking, or go right to the mailbox and, or like the real post office, and put it in there.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be great though if every month you look out, there's a green flag there, big green flag waving around your mailbox. Oh, there's your check. So I know it's just an analogy, but every single month a new check would be added to your account electronically. That's pretty cool. That's an income you never have to worry about. It's never going to go away. And the only thing that could happen, it may increase in the future if we set up more than one stream of income. So we meet with you after like 10 years in your retirement, and you say, Coach, we need a little bit more money because stuff's getting more expensive. I say, okay, would you like to activate income stream number 2? Yes, boom, press the button. Now you get 2 checks every month.
Very nice.
Down the road, Coach, we need a little more money. Activate income stream number 3.
Yeah.
So the most income streams I've ever set up for somebody has been 4. I know a guy, though, Tom Hegna, and he writes books. He wrote a book called Don't Worry, Retire Happy. Guess how many income streams he has?
7?
17.
17, okay.
So, because he's not worrying, he's retiring happy, and he hasn't activated any of them yet, but he's got 17 income streams for retirement.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Well, Coach, that's overwhelming. I don't even have one. Well, you can start now. You can get your own income stream, and we help people with this all the time. That's why we give this golden ticket away for retirement income, retirement plan. It's a total retirement plan. It's 22 steps we do behind the scenes. Don't be overwhelmed, folks. It only takes 3 visits, averaging about an hour each. To get the plan put up. First, we have to find out what you want to have happen, what you desire to happen in retirement. Then we ask you what your planner's told you is going to happen. Then we analyze where your plan is right now, and many times we have to make a U-turn from where you thought you were going to where your planner had you going. Or many times there's a lot of financial termites in your portfolio.
Yes.
Financialtermites.com, folks, but it's risk, fees, commissions that sometimes you don't know you're paying. Just like termites in the house, eating your portfolio away. That's not a good thing.
No.
I always say, whose retirement are you funding? Yours or your broker's? Or if you have a lot of financial termites, you might be funding your broker's retirement. So we can eliminate them and get you on the proper path. It shouldn't be intimidating. We make it very simple and very non-threatening, and we don't use gigantic words. But everybody watching needs their own financial fill-up strategy. That's that green flag on the mailbox. Every single month, their retirement account is replenished with a retirement income check that will never go away as long as you are breathing and as long as your spouse is breathing. Because people say, well, Coach, what happens if I'm not here? Your spouse continues to get that check.
Absolutely.
What happens if we both pass away? Whatever's left goes to your next of kin. So we've checked all the boxes on this, but we want a custom design that plan for you. We are a fiduciary planning team, which means we have to do everything for your benefit, nothing for our benefit.
Absolutely.
In other words, we can't be pulling any dirty tricks. One thing we will never offer is what's called a real estate investment trust, a REIT. I've never seen a REIT that works. Now, I'm sure there's probably some good ones out there. But are you willing to gamble and maybe not get a good one? Don't take retirement money and put it in a REIT. You can take money you can afford to lose, just like the stock market. I love the stock market. I have a lot of stocks myself. My daughter doesn't even know. Well, she does now, I told her. But I started buying Apple stock for her in a Roth IRA when she was 5. She has 160 shares of Apple now. And it's a Roth IRA, and she's 15. So when she's 65, she'll be able to take, who knows what that, hopefully Apple will still be around. I got an iPhone, you have an iPhone, everyone has iPhones. So when she reaches 65, that'll probably be millions of dollars, and it'll all be tax-free because it's a Roth IRA for her.
That's fantastic.
So that's something my parents never did for me. I wish they did.
I know.
But having the Roth IRA for your kids, folks, and she basically worked for me in the company. She was a little model. She didn't know it. We took pictures of her, but I paid her $5,000 a year and took it and put it right in a Roth IRA for her. So that's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
So there's a lot of things that we recommend inside there. So if you have children or grandchildren, you want to start them being familiar with money, because now my daughter appreciates money. She knows.
Of course.
And I said, I've told her, you should never touch this stock. You should let it grow. Because the Roth IRA, it's going to grow tax-free. It's it's going to come out tax-free.
Fantastic.
That's a good phrase, coming out tax-free.
Absolutely.
So let's make sure to set up the next 20 people. Let's give you all these ideas. Let's make sure we custom design a plan for you. Let's get you on that path you deserve to be. And I'll give you a 3-book set, 3 of the books I've written, a DVD on retirement, a CD called The Live Happy Show with some good interviews like Eddie Money, Rocky Blyer, Dennis Potvin, Chris Berman, a lot of good interviews on there. But more importantly, folks, you'll get that golden ticket to get your very own plan so you can be sure that you're on the right path all the way through retirement.
Absolutely. Great time for us to open up the phone lines. To the viewers at home, the phone is now open. Please call in. We know you have a lot of questions about how to plan your perfect retirement. Coach Pete has the answers for you. Again, don't go away. When we come back, I'm going to have some more questions and answers for Coach Pete about how to plan your perfect retirement. Please stay tuned.
It really does take the worry out of living in retirement if you get a true income plan built into your total plan. And that's why we try to future-proof your portfolio. Look at what you want to do in the future. Make sure you have protected money, protected from inflation, protected from risk and taxation, to make sure that you get that income all the way through retirement so you can do what you want to do. Because that's what retirement's all about.
Coach Pete, Coach Pete, financial advice, the likes of which can be beat. Coach Pete, Coach Pete, financial advice, the likes of which can be beat. So it's time, yeah, it's time for Coach Pete.
Welcome back to Financial Safari TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Coach Pete D'Arruda, otherwise known as the People's Choice. Coach Pete, I love all the information that you're sharing with the viewers today because obviously they have a lot of questions about how to retire comfortably, if you will. Let me ask you a question. Why are some financial plans, or most if you will, kind of like sandcastles on the beach?
Did you ever go to the beach in the summertime?
Absolutely, all the time.
Spend a lot of time building these sandcastles?
Of course.
Then realize you built them in the wrong place?
Absolutely.
Because the water would come in and wipe it out? It was so convenient to build it right next to the water because the sand was perfect to build the sandcastles.
Yeah.
Not too close to the water, just far enough back where you had the dry and wet sand to mix together and you got nice sandcastles.
Yep.
We also ran into some other hindrances. Maybe a bully would come by and kick your sandcastle over. We had that happen as guys. So just like the financial world, are we building our plans perfectly? And we had nice sandcastles, by the way, but are we building our plans in the wrong place? Are we building them with the wrong vehicles? Is our plan going to collapse right when we need it the most? We build a nice one and then we try to run and find our parents and to maybe get a picture. Remember, the pictures back then was with a 35mm camera. There were no cell phones back then. But by the time we got back, the water had wiped it out. So we cannot have our financial plan, our retirement plan, get wiped out by any of the market forces, just like the waves coming in and wiping out your sandcastle, because financial planning is a fragile situation here. I mean, so many different things that could be done wrong that you might not realize. If we built a very nice sandcastle, but it had a very small base and we built it too big on the top, it would fall over on itself.
Sure.
And that's when a lot of people are taking too much risk with their portfolio. It looked really good until it didn't. So if the analogy here is if you buy a couple stocks and you put a bunch of money in there and they keep going up, well, now you're what's called overweighted. You've got too much money in one or two stocks, which is great when it's going up. And people say, Coach, I've got this great gain in the stock market. I've made so much money. And I said, well, have you sold that stock? And they say, no. I said, we haven't made anything yet. And they said, what do you mean? I said, you're not up until you're out. As long as you're still in the stock, you're not up until you're out, because you basically are looking. It's a picture, but it's not a realized gain. You don't realize the gain until you sell the stock and take possession of it.
That makes sense.
And so it gets hard for people to sell a stock when it's up because they're emotionally now falling in love with it.
Sure.
So I always say we need an exit strategy. Before we get into any stock, we need to set a price that we'll be happy to take at least half, if not most of the money out at that price. Now, what if a stock doubles? Let's say you buy a stock at 10, it goes to 22. I doubled it a little more.
Right.
10, 20, the 20 keeps going up. All
Inflation, said that.
Here's what I would do. I would sell half of the stock at 20 or 22, whatever it is. Let's just say 20.
Okay.
And therefore, by selling half of it after it doubled, I've got all my original money back. So now, that stock at 20, I have half the shares, but it's all with what we call the bookie's money. It's not my money. It is your money though, but it's not. Even if it went to zero, you haven't lost anything.
Okay.
Now, have you really not lost anything? No. Once it hit 20 and you've got all those shares, even if you liquidate half, that's your money now.
Yeah.
Are you going to be happy watching it go right back down to nothing?
Yeah.
But as long as you can sell half of it, now at least you're not going to feel the pain of losing money, your principal that you had to begin with.
Sure.
But once it goes way up, now it's your money. I would sell probably about 90% of it.
Okay.
And leave 10% there, so just in case. Again, we talked about this term on shows past, FOMO, fear of missing out. That's why we don't liquidate when we should, because we don't want to miss the big gain that might come.
Absolutely.
And then what usually happens a lot of times is the gain doesn't come, it goes right back down.
Absolutely.
So if we sell 90% of it, not only have we got our money back that we initially invested, but now we have a profit. And the 10% we leave there, who cares?
Yeah.
It could go up, it could go down, but that's still, you don't have the FOMO anymore because you still have some of the shares. Now, if it goes up to the moon, if it goes from 20 to 100, you're going to be mad.
Right.
But if it went from 20 to 2, you're going to be happy.
Then you'll be happy.
So again, it's an emotional tug of war game we play.
Okay.
But sandcastles at the beach, just like financial plans, are all customized. Every single one we did was different, like snowflakes coming down from the heavens.
Absolutely.
But we need to make sure that we don't build it in the wrong place, and we need to make sure what we have in it is what should be in it, and we need to make sure that it can't be wiped out when bad things happen.
Okay.
So by taking the right steps, we have something we call it the total retirement plan. It's 22 different steps on how to build your retirement sandcastle in a place that will never be destroyed and always pump out lifetime income. In other words, the sandcastles we build for you are not really sandcastles, they're cement. And they have a moat around them and a big, what do you call that, big old fence around there, right?
Absolutely.
Game of Thrones, they had that gigantic wall, the Great Wall of China kind of thing. So we can build walls around your portfolio where you can get it, but nobody else can. And that's important because we need to make sure that we have lifetime income. As we approach retirement, we need to know what that income is going to be with certainty because I've seen this in my life. A lot of people can retire sooner than they thought. When they have a lifetime income strategy already established.
Sure.
And so, especially more than one stream, we like more than one stream. How many streams run into the ocean? A lot.
Of course.
There's only one ocean, there's a bunch of oceans, but there's only one big body of water.
Absolutely.
But all these little streams feed into lakes and rivers and all that, and they feed into the ocean. So we need streams of income. We call it the total retirement plan. We call it financial fill-up strategy. And Cynthia, I want to make sure that the next 20 people who've suffered through watching me all this show, I'm going to give you an award. So your reward, an award, is you're going to get the DVD on retirement. You're going to get my audio CD on the Live Happy Show, which has a lot of great interviews on here.
Absolutely.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Eddie Money, one of the famous rock and roll guys on there. He's passed away now, but he was really good on that interview. My book, The 7 Baby Steps. This is the best-selling book. I get a lot of checks from Amazon from this, but I'm going to give this away, folks, to you. $17.76 is a financial independence. That's why it's $17.76. And then my most recent book, America Asks Coach. It's 27 interactive chapters. In other words, it'll tell you what's different things, and then it'll tell you how to fix things that might be wrong. So that and the total retirement plan, the golden ticket, folks, I've also got a t-shirt, growthprotectionincome.com t-shirt for the next 20 people who call.
And Coach Pete, I love how when people come into the office, they say that you're just as warm and engaging in person as you are on TV and on your radio show. So again, I can't thank you enough for another amazing show this week. I always look forward to our time together.
I look forward to being on with you too.
Thank you, Coach Pete.
Yes, ma'am.
To the viewers at home, we know you have a lot of questions about how to plan your perfect stress-free retirement. Coach Pete has the answers for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call. And again, he's having an amazing offer today that's going to be given to the first 20 callers. Don't miss this chance to call. The number is on your screen. Thank you for watching and spending time with us this week. Be safe, be happy, be blessed, and we'll see you soon.